Hey guys, welcome back to On the Menu. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cranberry vanilla scones. I think these will be perfect for breakfast on Christmas morning. To start, we're going to use 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using gluten-free as always, but you can use regular. I've got a 1/3 cup of white granulated sugar and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Now here you normally add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, but since I'm using salted butter for this recipe, I'm omitting it. But if you have unsalted butter, go ahead and use a 1/2 teaspoon of salt right now. While we set that aside, I'm grating my butter. I froze it for a little bit to make it easier to grate. This is going to make it easy to incorporate into my flour. You want your ingredients to be very cold when you're making scones. So now that I've grated the full stick of butter, I'm going to put it back into the fridge, or put it into the fridge to get nice and cold. Next, I'm taking 1 large egg. Into that, I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of buttermilk and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. After setting my mixture aside, I'm going to incorporate my very cold butter into my flour, and I just want to mix it around to get like little beads of the flour and butter mixture. Pour in your egg and milk mixture into your flour, and then after just kind of incorporating those two together a little bit, you're going to add in a 1/2 cup of your dried cranberries and then another 1/2 cup of vanilla chips. After you mix it, you're going to try to form together your dough with your hand. And since I'm using gluten-free flour, it's a little bit drier than your normal flour. And so you just see me kind of packing it and molding it in. Don't worry, it may seem like it's dry. This is actually perfect texture for the dough. And I'm just going to pack it into a ball, let the butter kind of melt in with the dough. Again, you want to move quickly though, because you do want everything to remain as cold as possible. Now I've lightly oiled my baking sheet. I'm just going to take my dough and press it out into the shape that I want it to be in. If you are using regular dough, you can probably roll it very easily, but again, gluten-free dough requires a little bit more love and attention. So I just have to mold it and kind of press it out to give it a decent amount of thickness, and then I'm just going to cut my pieces and spread them out. I like to do it right on the baking sheet because if I do it on the counter with gluten-free dough, it tends to stick and just become more work than it's necessary. This next step is really important. You want to refrigerate your dough for about 15 to 20 minutes. In the meantime, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Right before you put your dough into the oven, you want to brush on top with a little bit of milk or cream. Let your scones bake for about 20 to 25 minutes or until they're lightly golden on top. Look at how perfect these scones turned out, you guys. The texture is absolutely perfect. If you decide to make these Please, please, please leave me a comment. I love to hear your feedback. I think these would be perfect on Christmas morning. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe.